Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. So today we have something new and we're redoing something from yesterday's video, as you can see here in the background. Let me just get this clean and then I will show you guys what we're making. All right, let me just get this wiped off. All right, I'm just wiping that with a baby wipe. And get that out of the way. So, we are redoing the cover to our little book, because this was my older mold and it had stuff on it. Plus I got bubbles, major bubbles, and I just didn't feel like fixing it. So we're gonna redo this cover. So I already have that all brushed with the purple chrome powder by Let's Resin. And then we're doing another dragon head, and I did that in the holographic pink because that's going to get mounted on that when that's done to finish our book. So that is just, if you saw yesterday's video, if not, go back and watch it, you'll see what I mean about these. And then this is an earbud case. Now, I don't use earbuds, but my granddaughter does, and I know a ton of people do. So we're going to make this. This came as a set with a phone stand. So we're going to make it, and what I'm going to do is, I don't know how much these hold. I'm going to mix the violet opal and the sky blue opal together and see what we get for a color. So that's what we're going to pour these in. I believe this holds 3.5 ounces. This I can't remember. So I'm going to mix up 2 ounces. I'm going to plan on 2 for this and 3 for that. So I'll do 5 ounces. I mixed up 12 just because I don't know. I don't think these will take that much, but you never know. Sometimes these long, skinny ones surprise you with what they take. So this I'm going to mix in black because we got to coat that in black to match our other case. Why can't I open anything today? My goodness. Ooh, it's like my muscles just kind of like got up and went. I don't know where they went, but they went somewhere. All right, we're gonna give like three squirts should do it. And we're gonna get this mixed up. So I want to get these 2 poured first, and then I can mix the rest up and we can pour that, because I'm thinking we're going to have some extras, but you never know. All right, so this is the tricky part. Because I painted the mold, I can't see where the bubbles are. So I'm going to pour it enough to get the bottom. And then I'm going to try to like run it around. so that maybe we won't get any trapped bubbles this time. Like I didn't on my, I made 2 of those boxes on yesterday's video, and my second one was fine. And you have to kind of squeeze the bubbles out before it gets too full, or you can't squeeze it without making a mess. So if you just pour this in a color and you don't have any color on the mold, you can see where the bubbles are. So it makes life, you know, a heck of a lot easier. Another bubble. All right, I'm gonna give it a spray, and I can see a little hair or something in here. Where'd it go? Right there. There we go. Okay. And the same with this. I want to make sure that I get down in the horns. And I am going to use a pokey stick to get in there. Even though I painted the mold, I want to make sure that I don't have any trapped bubbles, because my last dragon came out so good. Okay. So 5 ounces definitely was good for the 2 of these. All right, let me move that back. And I am gonna just run this around. I'd rather scratch some of the color off than to have a bubble. All right. I'll slide that back. And I will scrape. So the whole book takes 8 ounces. Now I could put a smidge more in this top. but it is not real low. So I will just put a smidge in there. Okay. All right, let's get, do I want to mix in this cup? No, I do not want to mix in this cup. Wipe that black out. Just because glitter sucks getting off of the cup. So let's see, I'll start with 4 ounces. And I'm going to pour a bunch of that. And this is just the Chunky Glitter by Let's Resin. Yeah, this comes in, what is it, a 10-pack? 12 colors. So it is, let me show you, the Chunky Glitter from Let's Resin, the 12 colors. So, and it's just the Sky Blue Opal and the Violet Opal. And get a stick. So I probably will use a little bit of the glue because I know in here I don't want the glitter to sink. In here it really wouldn't matter that much. Ooh, that's pretty. But I'm going to put a little bit more because I can still see my stick. I was hoping to maybe not have to add any color. Pretty. All right, so let me get my clear glue. And we're gonna put 4 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's usually 1 drop per ounce, especially on the Chunky Glitter, because that's the one that really, you know, if it's gonna sink, it's gonna sink. So I'm gonna do the earbud case first because I wanna make sure that that is the same color. Because if I have to mix up more, you know, I might get the glitter ratio wrong. So I at least want, my case to be the same. So I'll give them a little spritz. So yeah, when you use glue, you definitely have to cut it like with a knife. So, where are we at now? 4. So, yeah, took a ½ ounce. I still need to put more in there, but let's get the other one done. And then I'll top them off. So, once I get done this video, I am going to make some Italian spaghetti sauce with meatballs. Pop. There we go. Thank you very much. I'm just squeezing the bottom in case there's any trapped bubbles in there. Okay, that's definitely domed. Probably a little too much. I might have to take some out. So this, I believe, stays out because that's your little charging port. Trying to get it so it's somewhat domed without going over. See a bubble right there. And this is the same resin that I usually always use, the Bond Craftor 1-to-1. I'm just gonna wipe this edge. That way there, I can see if it's leaking over or not. So that looks good. All right, so that took an ounce. So each one is a ½ ounce. So that's not bad. All right, let's get this big one poured. Oop. Making a mess. And we're just under 1, which I can still put a little bit more in here. Okay. And so I definitely will have to use up the rest, but let me at least get a thin layer in the bottom here. Okay. So I'm gonna do an ounce. Because then we can always color the other 2 ounces that are in there. Now trying to match this color is going to be the tricky part. That is really a pretty glitter though, really pretty. And let's do a drop of glue. And we'll probably have some left over, without a doubt, but we will find something. So I have 2 other molds that I could probably pull out to utilize some of this, but I was going to do a full video on them, so is just a smidge too much. That's probably good right there. Because I don't want to go up over my little thingy, because I want them to fit together. And I think this one can use just a smidge more. Okay, so we've got all of our little pieces. So I've got about a 1/2 ounce in here, and let's see. Pour the rest in here, so I know how much we have. Oh, well, that glove ain't doing me any good. Let me change this glove. We've got 2.5 ounces. What can I make for 2.5 ounces? Whoa. I suppose we could do our little piggies again. And that's the cap one. Let's see. I think that's the lay down one. All right. Let's get ourselves a, or is this the lay down piggy? Oh, I don't black speck in here. All right. Let's do this little guy right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some clear and we're going to stir it up. I know it's not going to be fully, you know, mixed in, but at least it just won't be a clear bottom. All right, so I'm going to go with that. And then this gives me 1.5 ounces. I think we could do our so we could do a turtle. Let's pick let's do the blue opal. And we're going to pour this little turtle guy here. Just going to get a white. Just kind of wipe that a little bit. I didn't put no glue in this, so we'll see how bad it sinks. And let's see what I have left. Another ounce. And I have another one. Let's put a some blue alcohol ink in with it and see what we get. That was dark indigo, which is more of like a purpley blue, but that is pretty. Oh, that is really pretty. I'm gonna probably kick myself for not putting glue in there. And we have a little bit more. Let's see. I think we might have enough for him. And I do want to make sure that I get the tail. I always lose the tail on this little guy. Oh, UPS might be early today. Oh my gosh, guys, we're going to have just enough to do this turtle. All right. Alrighty, guys. I will be back on demold. Alrighty, guys. These are all cured. They're still a little bit... These ones are warm. These ones are not. I did put them on the put these on the heat mat. I put these in the curing machine. So let's see if we manage to not get any bubbles in this piece. And we got a bubble. What the heck? And another big bubble. Are you kidding me? Oh. Oh. I mean, I can fill these in. This one, oh, I'm going to use some tape and see if I can fix it. I might have to put some rhinestones on the edge, but we'll see. Let's see. So the cover fits good, minus the hole. Are you kidding me? Oh. All right, let's get Mr. Dragon out, and hopefully we have no bubbles in him. Oh, and he comes out so good. And we have a bubble in his horn. Oh, and some little bubbles here. Are you kidding me? All right. So since this is a girl one, I'm going to fix those bubbles with rhinestones. I am. But, I mean, other than that, it came out spectacular. All right. Let's get some of these extras out. And this comes out cute all the time. This is the Resin turtle mold. This is the original. This is the one that no, this is the original. This is the one I made so I would have two of them. So that is adding a little bit of the alcohol ink in there. So those came out really cute. And let's see if my little turtle can have a tail this time. He does, he does. He's got a tail. Got some of that little thin overage. All right, so and I just popped his head off. Oh, lordy, lordy. I should have let him cool just a smidge more. I hate this mold. I really do. I hate this mold with a passion. I don't have success. Oh, well, I'm just leaving it. I'm gonna toss that one. I can't even anymore. I just can't. All right, let's see how little piggy came. Oh. And I throw my piggy on the floor. Oh, she's cute. She is cute, cute. Could have had a little tiny bit more in the bottom. But I can always top it off with some UV resin to finish filling it in a little bit. But she is cute. All right, now for the main event. Now, I have not unmolded this, so I do not know how difficult this is going to be. And by the looks of it, it's going to give me some problems. All right. Put some alcohol down in there. Ow, ow, I just got it in my finger. Which I was trying to not do. There we go. Okay. Get this back the way it's supposed to be. So this came out really, really good. So like I said, I do not have earbuds, but I'm sure that when my granddaughter comes over, she will be able to show me how these work, because she lives with earbuds in her ears. Which I think most teenagers do. And there's not much on the bottom. I might as well just clean it up right now. Okay, so that is nice and smooth. Now, I'm gonna just put some alcohol right in here, right in the beginning, because that did make life much easier. And we will flip that back. We've got no bubbles. And that makes our little case. I will probably top coat the top of that with some UV resin. Just because when you use the glitter like that, you don't get that nice smooth finish. So we'll get this trimmed. Okay. That goes together really good. All right. Now this should be somewhat easy to come out. Now if we can get it together, that is the second part of the equation. Now, this will be bendy for sure because it's just coming out. So yeah, so that is, and then you would set your phone here. And it does have a spot so you could charge your phone at the same time. The one thing that I have found most people complain about is they do bend over time. So I'm going to leave these separate to make sure and let them really harden up good. I will put them together, and there's really no trimming on this. A little bit on this side, right and through here. But that, yeah, I filled that just right. And then, you know, we could put a name or a, you know, maybe I'll get a sticker and we could put a sticker on there or something. But they came out really cool. So I definitely will be making more. But let's try and fix this little guy. And I'm just going to move some of this out of my way. And I will get all right. Trying to make me a little bit of room here. And I'm going to use my my double-sided light because I didn't charge my other one yet. I meant to do that and I didn't. I'm just all right. So I will get my UV resin. And I am going to, I'm going to try to catch it while it is still tacky. And we're going to put some of the purple on it. So this part here, I've got to tape because that's going to definitely, you know, run underneath. And I'm contemplating, do I put a little bit of black in there? I think so. And I think there's a black in the colors that I got from Let's Resin. Yeah, right here. I'm just gonna grab my big light, make sure it's charged, because I want to be able to catch it while it is still tacky. I don't want to cure it completely through. I mean, I will have to build it up. Okay. Could still use a little bit, so I'm just gonna stick that tape back on here, just like that. All right, so let's get the other holes filled in. And I'm just going to put a little bit there, and I'll use my scribe to kind of get it in that little hole. I don't want there to be an actual like hole, you know, because obviously this is going to be for a kid and I don't want them to cut themselves. So those ones I'll have to build up a little bit more too, so. And let me see if this will stick. All right, so I'm gonna use the clear now because the clear cures much quicker. So I was able to coat those, so that's a good thing. I mean, it's not the, you know, it's not 100%, but it is definitely better than it was, and it's the underneath, so I'm okay with that. And where is my brush? Let's see. I'm gonna put, let's see if that is, it might be still tacky enough. I don't know. Oh, look at that. It is. And we'll just put a little over the top. All right, so that worked. Let me put the cover on this before I make a mess. You guys all know. Take a Q-tip and we're going to clean up. Around that. And then I'm going to pop this into my big light. We'll put that in there for a couple minutes. And I do want to top coat this. So I'm just going to turn my light so that the light's not reflecting on here. And we will just put a nice top coat of UV resin. And that way we'll have a nice, shiny, smooth top. That's the only thing when you do glitter, the top definitely, unless you leave enough room and then pour a thin layer of clear, you will have to top coat it in order for it to look, you know, really good. So I finally was able to use my Cricut today while my pasta was cooking. I made myself a new shirt. It just has my logo on it, but it has been so long since I had used, I was like, God, do I even remember how to do it? All right, so I'm gonna slide this under the light. And because this is still somewhat see-through, it's gonna cure without a problem for sure. So, and I'm not touching the resin, guys, so I don't have my gloves on, but I'm not touching it, so. There, and then just pull it to the edge. You don't want it going over, but just get it to the edge, and then you'll have a nice finish. And don't forget to bring it to the edge of the charging port. And we'll take this out, pop that in, we'll take off our tape. We will trim this. So because I didn't tape it the greatest, you know, that will be a little yucky there. You know, just because that that hole was so big. All right. So it's not going to be too bad. So if I just put a few rhinestones like right in here, it will hide that. I think that's what we're gonna do. So let me grab my rhinestones. These pretty pink ones, but I think it's gonna clash with the purple, so we're gonna stick with the clear. And let's see, we're gonna use the smaller ones. This is my Liquid Fusion. So I had to put a bigger tip on it because my other one was all clogged. We are going to put a little bit bigger one on the nose just to make sure that we cover that hole, that bubble. I think that's going to be cute. So I'm just putting a little bit on, just on those tips. I'm going to have to sharpen my pencil here pretty soon. So this is what I did when I did that coaster. I just brought these upstairs and I sat at my dining room table and I just put the rhinestones on the coaster. I was up till like 12:30. Yeah, it took quite a while. I did 3/4 of it that one night. I think that's going to be cute. Now we'll do the other side just so it matches, because I don't want like a lopsided dragon. So I figured I would do this, and then I can get this glued on. All right, so that took care of those little bubbles. Okay, set that there for a second. I know I have my rubber stopper. Okay. Oh, wait, I wanted to put some on the side. Hang on one second. Ow. Ow. Oh, my fingers are so broke out, guys. Oh, and I keep re-splitting the splits. Yeah, that is not fun. All right, so we're gonna do a big one and then a couple of the smaller ones. So we're gonna put a big one where this shows. I'll put that there. And Do 3 on each side. All right. All right. But I think let's do a big one on each end. Let's see. And then we'll just do, and then we'll just do one on either side of this big one. All right. I think that will look pretty, just like that. All right, so now I can wipe this and put the little tip thing on it, if I can find it again. Oh my gosh, that thing is a nightmare to keep track of. All right, put that over there, that over there. Now we're gonna get the E6000, we're gonna glue this on, and I dropped a little bit of resin in my container. There we go. Didn't want it in there. Okay. So I'm going to glue the dragon on, and then I'll do the side and we will be done. As soon as I find, oh my gosh, I have got to clean this desk off, guys. It is a disaster. I mean, disaster. Even though this is not going to get handled, I still want it to be not sharp. All right, so I'm just gonna, and I'm gonna keep it away from the edge to a point because it will displace itself once I push it on. I'll just move that back. And we did the silver, so we're gonna do the lines in silver. And I'm just wiping that off as I go. And that way there, I don't have to panic that it's going to give me a hard time. So I'm just tracing these indented lines. And this is the reason I didn't want any bubbles, because if you get bubbles in there, it makes it harder to trace it. You still can, but it makes the bubbles stand out more. So I like doing it when there's like no bubbles. And I just let the you know, the paint like fall off the tip and fill that little groove. So when I wipe it off, what's in the groove will stay and all that excess will come off. Now, the first time I tried doing this, it was, oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. I'm like, this paint doesn't come off. I just ruined it. I was so mad. So I prefer to do it as I put it on. I mean, now I have, you know, acetone, which I know would, you know, definitely take it off much easier. But when you're just starting out and, you know, you don't know what you don't know. And the only way you know is by doing it. So but see how pretty that makes that stand out compared to this one? And it's all nice and smooth. So I do it, the reason I'm doing it in layers and I started at the top is so that I'm not sticking my hand into what I just painted, because I have a tendency of doing that. So this way here, I do the upper section and work my way down, or you could start at the bottom and, you know, work your way up. It's personal preference. And that one just didn't have enough of the paint to go in it. So I'm holding it up. The lighting in here is, it's kind of wonky. I've been playing around trying to figure out a better lighting situation, so yeah, hopefully that will be coming soon. There we go. So we have our little book all nice and done. And obviously I can't hold it up. Well, I can. Like that, so you can kind of... And the only thing I did not do was his eyes. And I'm gonna get that back on there. And there is enough glue. So I'm just gonna leave it like that overnight, and that should be all glued up. So yeah, that is our adventure today. And put my cover on my markers. I've been forgetting that lately too, guys. You know, when you start getting old, your brain just doesn't focus the way you want it to. And like I said, I'll let this, you know, harden up. But I will try to get a picture of it for you. So I will do that. I'll get a picture of this and this. And yeah, I will see you on the next one, guys. Bye.